Mrs. Needle never left the sewing basket again.
Dad, don't most parents read books to their kids at night?
Yeah, but I can never get to sleep after reading an exciting book. And this one is a rip snorter. Mr. Pincushion, Mrs. Needle. Oh, and grouchy old spool. I'm going to go read it to your mother.
The True Adventures of Woodsy Forrester. He couldn't be seen.
Ha-ha, you're right! Where is he?
He's there. He just can't be seen. His clothes were the forest. Lichen was his hat. Ferns were his shoes. Mud was his underwear. Even the animals didn't know he was there.
I didn't know he was there. Are you sure that's him?
I mean, it could just be a skinny hat-wearing hill. Here comes the darn Jack and Jill again. Hide the well! Oh, sorry.
How could he foil the unscrupulous loggers, evade the hungry mountain lion, and find his way back to camp with nothing but a pigeon's egg, some moss, and a dull rock?
How?
Dad, they accepted our offer. We got the cabin.
Gee willikers. Hear that, Newton? I mean, big metal thing you tie up boats to?
It's called a ballard. The timeshare office called just as your dad was weeping over Mr. Thimble's head lump. We're spending a month in the mountains.
Oh, boy! A cabin! With the trunk and the big gray ears and lifting logs in the Punjab!
That's an elephant.
Where?
A cabin is a house in the woods. We can live like Woodsy Forreston, finding true north from the moss on tree trunks, starting campfires with a piece of quartz in the sun.
And washing it all down with a case of shrimp, the crustacean-flavored soda. Shrimp for when you're so thirsty you don't mind drinking bits of shell and little eyeballs on stalks and the stuff and the crunch and the yuck.
Ah, this is the life. Clear skies, breathing fresh air through your clenched teeth to filter out the bugs. Ah, falling asleep to the sound of bears eating your garbage.
And old unexploded dynamite sticks left over from hunting season.
Look, Newton, a month in this huge cabin and it's just the four of us.
Oh, no, dear. We couldn't afford this big place all by ourselves. Frank and Chloe are staying with us.
And you won't be alone, because Renfrew and Bundle are sharing your room.
Dad?
Well, there's something you don't see every day. A naturally formed Burmese tiger pit.
I tell you, Warden, I can't do a whole month in the bowl! Ah! I'd go mad on Alcatraz if I didn't have little birdies to talk to. And, of course, the cows to play poker with. Ooh. I'll see your cowbell and raise you this salt lick. Ooh.
Hey, Ned, want to go outside and play?
Sure.
There.
Ah!
You're outside.
So you two are making the sound effects for the big movies now.
Yep, that's us. When the bad guy gets hit on the head with a paint can and falls flat on his back in a John Hughes film.
Which John Hughes film?
All of them. Bag of glass falling next to a goose. Take one.
Wow, movie magic. So, geese don't do their own lines?
Oh, of course not, Sharon. They're not smart enough. That's why they had to use a pig to star in Babe.
Careful, Bundle. That wobbly old table might collapse.
Thanks for visiting my website. Today's fun fact. Cat tastes a lot like chicken with a flea collar.
What is all this junk?
Hey!
Didn't you bring anything fun? I brought chocolate, a flashlight, handcuffs, an air horn, video games, walkie-talkies, fudge, and some of this. Cologne?
Tony, as a close friend, would you be offended if I asked you to take 17 showers and move over to the other side of the world?
Newton, we've got a real problem. We're here for a month. You can't be big or Renfrew will see you. But you can't be small or Bundle will eat you.
And I can't be over 40 pounds or Giorgio and Calvin won't hire me. Oh.
There's only one thing to do.
Cry like Michael Murphy and an unmarried woman?
No, Newton. Using what we've learned from Woodsy Forested, we must go into the woods and survive with nothing but moss and our brains.
How will we tell them apart? Plus, that's a book made of paper, and we're a person and a Newt made entirely out of edible bear meat.
Newton, come on. Newton, you leave tonight.
Oh, sorry.
Ah, peace and quiet.
Tree falling on a clown. Take one.
Mom? Dad? I'm taking Newton for a walk in the woods. Don't worry if I don't come back for a while.
Okay, we won't. Did you take the TV in case you go past a repair place?
Eric, a cannon fired through a wall at rush hour.
A walk in the woods, huh? Come on, Bundle. Let's have some fun.
Miles from nowhere. This is the perfect spot to apply everything we've learned.
Let's start a fire. How do you start a fire? How long do you think it'd take with a soggy leaf and some tree shadow?
Woodsy started a fire by rubbing two sticks together. Faster!
Not even warm.
Though I could use him to knit you a comfy but ugly sweater.
By George, I think I've got it. As long as it's not a reasonable singing voice. Throw these useless store-bought shoes away! I'll fashion you warm clothing and moccasins from leaves and tree bark stitched with pine needles and lined with feathers. And rocks for epaulets.
It's not very comfortable.
Perhaps you need these soggy bark cuffs.
I don't need cuffs. I'm damp, prickly, and cold.
Maybe you're in love.
Maybe I'm in a suit made entirely out of wet forest guck. Let's go back to the cabin for some dry clothing. We can follow the stars. Where's Polaris?
Gee, they all look the same. Where's the little labels like they have in the books?
The cup of the Big Dipper points to the North Star.
Big Dipper? There it is! Or wait, is that the medium-sized carafe?
Time to give Ned and his lizard a surprise. Oh no! There's a big pair of footprints right beside Ned's. He's being followed by a real mountain lion. Ah!
Gee, I thought that'd attract Orion the Hunter, but I don't see him.
If only I had a flashlight,
Like Renfrew had?
an air horn to call for help,
Like Renfrew had.
some candy to eat, or a walkie-talkie.
Like...
Oh, right! I made a mistake! I should have brought a suitcase full of junk food and handcuffs instead of this book. Woodsy Borston, what a joke. I bet he doesn't even exist. He's probably an 85-year-old woman living in a penthouse in Vancouver.
No, Ned, don't say that.
Woodsy's real. He's gotta be Uncle Bill.
Woodsy, if you're real, come out from behind that rock. We bought all your books and took all your advice and we're lost in the forest with no shoes.
Wait, Ned! The answer's right here in front of us!
Where? Newton, what's the answer? Ah!
Ned was eaten by a mountain lion.
The twig snapping at night is driving us nuts. We're leaving.
That's nice. Well, have fun.
Hi, Renfrew. Been for a walk? Thanks, Woodsy.
No problem, young reader of the outdoors. But next time you're lost in the woods, remember...
A pigeon egg, some
some
moss,
moss,
and a
and a
dull
dull
rock.
Just think. Each of these insignificant grains of sand was once a mighty boulder, ground down by the surf over millions of years. They're nature's married men.
Eric! Over here is sunnier.
Yes, dear.
Ah, the beach. The drama of life and death. Heroic medical procedures performed with a ballpoint pen and some aquarium tubing.
Dr. Newton, code blue behind the big sand dune.
We've rerouted his nasal system through his ankles. Not only will he breathe better, he'll know when he needs to change his socks.
Newton, you're thinking of a hospital.
Right. What's a beach again? But this is nothing but sand and a bunch of water.
Needs another 15 psi.
I love the sea. But when I come here, I can't help but be reminded of my Uncle Sandy.
Now, dear, that was a long time ago. Why didn't you forget all about it while you're digging an enormous moat around me so I don't get splashed?
Yes, dear.
Oh, put a lot on me, Nettie boy. Oil me up good. This year I want to get really blue. Oh.
Something's rising from the water. It's big and lumpy and covered with kelp.
Could it be the most failed thing in all of Scotland? The Loch Ness Healthy Meal.
Northwestern Union, I have a message for person on the beach.
I guess that's me.
Sign here.
Hey, the ink's all blurred.
Sorry, kid. For waterproof bottles, you'll need to send it first class.
SOS. This person's desperate for sauce. To the Mayonnaise Mobile, chef man.
No, Newton, that's the international code for help. And it's signed Sandy Flemkin. That's my great Uncle Sandy who disappeared from this very beach and was never heard from again.
Gee, as opposed to those people who disappear, then you see them around all the time?
According to Dad, his uncle was a strapping hulk of a seafaring man with huge muscles and untamed sandy hair. One fateful day, Uncle Sandy responded to the call of a drowning man. The hapless swimmer was saved. But alas, Sandy never made it back.
You mean you can drown in that stuff? Hi, I'd like to order the deluxe deck building kit with 200 big-fingered Dutch people included. Hurry!
I was given the middle name Sandy in honor of this courageous man. We have to call the Coast Guard to save him.
Coast Guard? Ha! All they have is equipment, personnel, and expertise. Whereas we have singular focus and a keen attention to detail. If we can't find your Aunt Yemalik...
Great Uncle Sandy.
Okay, so we don't have a keen attention to detail, but we do have a cardboard pie plate and a firkin of quahogs.
M is for the many way.
Follow me.
7 down. Pronoun. 1 letter.
S?
No.
L?
Doesn't fit with 2 across.
Uncle Sandy?
Yeah!
It's the blob!
No, Mr. McQueen. The Wax Museum had a power failure during the heat wave. It's actually Ingrid Bergman and half of Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, I see the resemblance now. It's uncanny.
Newton, what are we doing in a wax museum?
Well, you know how when you lose something, it's always in the last place you look?
Yeah.
This is the last place I'd look. Hey, the Three Stooges melted into one big stooge.
There, ready to eat.
Does the sun seem sunny here to you?
Yes, very.
You're right. It's too sunny. Let's move to where Ned is.
Of course, a message in a bottle. What were we thinking? He's not going to be in a wax museum or that off-Broadway production of Camelot. Whosoever pulls this clog from this loo shall be the rightful plumber of England. Luckily, I had the forethought to buy this half-finished rowboat and set to sea. Except for us being completely lost, sinking, and in a whale's stomach, I'd say we're finally on the right track. Kinda stuffy in here, don't you think? Look, Marla, it's the great spotted plains of Labrador. No, we haven't taken off yet. It's the luggage handler's back pimples.
If only Uncle Sandy were here, he'd know what to do.
The little Dickens couldn't wait for us. He's already buried himself in the sand and performed a naso-angular bypass using a pen and aquarium tubing. Oh, you know what we forgot to bring?
The house.
Hi, back up, Nettie. I'm just getting me sea legs. Would you like to meet 'em? This here is Peg. I'd show you Melissa, but she's shy.
Newton, his mouth's open. That means...
He's snoring and he's about to get nudged out of the ocean by Mrs. Whale?
No, he's feeding.
Nonsense. Okay, here's the plan. All we have to do to get out of here is slap these on our necks.
What are they?
Old expiration dates.
Peachy King! Now we're just sinking and lost.
Gotta find Uncle Sandy.
Gotta find single female for quiet strolls and pillaging. Preferably in the Benelux area.
The creatures of the dumpster. They make such a beautiful music.
It's got a great beat and you can dance to it. I give it an 8.
I give it an 8. I give it an 8. Those are the sirens, mythical temptresses whose enchanting music lures men to the rocks and certain doom.
Oh, pshaw, that's just... Row, row, row your boat madly toward the rocks. Smashity, smashity, plummety, cratchity, smash.
Newton!
Oh, it's getting nippy. Maybe we should head on home, champ. What do you say?
Eric, he's still having fun. He'll let us know when he's ready to go.
Row, row, row your boat madly toward the rocks.
We just gotta learn a number that makes people applaud instead of rowing to their death.
Are you Sandy?
Yeah?
I'm your nephew's son, Ned. This is a large blue beachcomber.
And not a Newt at all. We got your note and we're here to rescue you. You wouldn't happen to have a boat or some flares or a map, would you?
Not? What note? I'm Sandy from sitting here. Ah, you must want old Sandy Flampkin.
Are you Sandy?
Oh, no, thank you. I've got a towel.
That's him.
I'm Ned, Eric's boy. I got your note.
Great. Did you bring my sauce?
No. We thought it was a call for help.
I didn't. Remember?
Because I've got 14 pounds of spaghetti and guests coming over.
But I thought you were a big, hairy, brave lifeguard who lived on the beach.
Lived on the beach? I can't even swim. In Fact is, I got my nickname because the bullies love to kick sand in my face. One day they forgot their frisbee, so they used me. Oh dear. I caught an updraft and kept going. I landed here.
How have you managed to survive?
One thing I knew darn well from all those years brushing it out of my pockets and nostrils was silicone. It makes up 28% of the Earth's crust, you know. I discovered it's an excellent semiconductor and invented the Sandy chip. My business partners called it micro something.
You invented the microchip, foundation of the modern computer.
And the reason 80% of office workers have orthopedic braces on their thumbs and sitting muscles?
Uh-huh. So I guess you think your uncle's a pretty dull character compared to those tough beach guys.
Not at all. All those bullies are now working in low-tech jobs at minimum wage. And the beautiful girls left them for rich, geeky programmers.
So that's where they came from. I've got to go get some sauce. Can I drop you and Bruno someplace?
Dad, I learned something today. Sometimes a hero's just a little guy who does what he has to and gets no credit for it at all.
Ned's right. You do so much for us. What can we do for you, big fella?
Could you build a fire so I can eat it?